Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to another outstanding segment of AAU, Building Bricks Youth Leadership Show. And we're out here in Long Island, and we're happy to be here. My name is Herman Dunham Jr. I am your host, and I'm hanging out with my main man,
William Teddy Portwine, your co-host of AAU Team Talk / Bricks TV, and we welcome you to another segment. And
Absolutely.
Before we get started, we would just like to take a moment to thank our sponsors.
Beautiful
for
sponsors.
making it all possible. Thank you very much.
Yes, a big shout out to Roger and Shavonna Johnson from the Whitney E.
Johnson Foundation.
Absolutely. They're doing a wonderful, wonderful work here in the community, especially out here in Long Island, and the reach is getting wider. So we're looking forward to the great things that are coming up, and we hear coming down the pipeline, and they're doing some great things. So we have two very, very special guests here, and you might even say to yourself, we always have very, very special guests, and we believe that that everyone that we bring on the show is very, very special, especially with the message and the content that we share. So we have two individuals who are associated in the community, and we're really going to let them introduce themselves. So, AJ, if you don't mind starting, just want to introduce.
My name is AJ Sanders. I'm a Youth Build graduate.
Okay, and Gabriel?
My name is Gabriel Arango. I'm a Youth Build graduate and weatherization trainer at Youth Build Long Island. Okay, so just, for general purposes, or so our viewers can kind of get an idea of, for those who may not know what Youth Build is, Gabriel, would you mind just giving us like a little bit of overview of what Youth Build is? To me, Youth Build is pretty much a second chance for people who started out in the wrong place and messed up their lives. Either they dug themselves in a deep hole, and it's that second chance, it's that support system that you need to just give you that push to make it through and become successful.
Okay. Where is Youth Build actually located out here in Long Island?
It's right in Deer Park, right by the train station.
Okay.
So it's very accessible.
Okay.
Also, the office is right by the Miller's Ale House, next to the Tanger outlets. Okay.
So what's the criteria for Youth Build as far as young men and women? Any age limit?
You got to be 18 to 24, in need of a diploma, a GED.
Okay.
And you got to want to change.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing. So AJ, you want to tell us a little bit about your experience over at Youth Build?
Oh, yes. I actually went to the Wyandanch Resource Center, and they had flyers hanging up about Youth Build, and it was my first time hearing about the program. Okay. And I had my life was really running through red lights and getting in a lot of trouble, so I had, like Gabe said, dug myself in a few holes too deep. So I went to Youth Build, and I signed up for the program, and I actually got to meet with the director who did my interview, Miss Elizabeth Morgan. And I'll never forget, she said to me, she's like, you know what, I see something in you. And she's like, you have this spark. She's like, you're going to make it through this program, and you're going to be successful. And at the time, I didn't dig too much into it, but later throughout the program, it actually, it stuck with me. I worked hard to get the program. I needed to obtain my diploma, and I wanted to get in the construction component. Okay. So I studied with a week. That's all they gave us. Well, not even a week. 4 days they gave us to study for the diploma, and I passed on my first try.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. And after I obtained my GED, I got back in the program. I continued doing construction. I got a scholarship to go to culinary school. Once I graduated, my success kept growing. I got a certificate from the Assemblywoman, the New York State Assemblywoman. She sent me a certificate of merit. I've got awards. I've met Steve Ballone. I've got to talk to people and network, and
Absolutely. I'm like, I'm sitting in the wrong. You should be sitting over here.
I mean, it was definitely, you know what it was? When I went to Youth Build, I was very hard-headed and I was strong-minded, but I think that I channeled my energy towards the wrong things. So when I got to Youth Build, it was definitely a place where they didn't give up on me. It was tough love, but it was the type of love that I needed. Somebody to push you and be like, I know you could do better, so do it. you know, and they never gave up on me. The doors were always open for me, even when I wanted to give up on myself, when I got tired and frustrated, you know, they kept pushing and kept staying on me to make sure that I came to school and I did what I had to do. So, but like Gabe said, it also, along with the positivity that you have around you, you have to want to change, you know? And I was tired of banging my heads into walls. I was tired of running into dead ends. So, you know, I wanted to change. I was determined to finish that program. And it was tough, but I made it through.
Okay. So, like, if you could say, like, the most important thing, you know, or two things that you really, really learned about you at Youth Build, what would those one or two things be?
If I could have two things, name two things. Well, one thing I could say, I know that when I entered Youth Build, I told Miss Morgan I had a bad temper. Like, that was something that I had to work on. Like, I would allow people to get under my skin. But what I didn't realize was that people can only affect you if you let them affect you, you know? And I would blame things, you know, I'd be like, oh, this is my surroundings, it's the people around me, it's the people I hang with, they do this and this happens, you know? Instead of thinking like, you know what, maybe it's me. I just need to just not let it get to me. I just not let it frustrate me and get under my skin. I just need to stay focused on what I gotta do, because, you know, somebody says a few words to you shouldn't get you all upset.
Right.
So, you know, my anger was something that I definitely worked on, because now, like a couple years ago, I couldn't walk away from anything. But now somebody says something to me, it's just like, man, it flies right over my shoulder. Like,
beautiful.
And a second thing that I definitely worked on was staying persistent and staying focused. You know, in everything I do, I always put my whole heart into it, 110%. But I think now, after coming out of Youth Build, it's like I push myself more to get things done and to succeed with it. It's like I don't want to just get it done. I want to be the best at it. You know, I want to be ahead of everybody else. I want to get there, because I know that, and it's not for the simple fact of me being like I want to be the #1 person there. It's just that I know once I get there, I could bring so many other people with me. Because, you know, once I crossed the bridge, it's like it was easy. Y'all follow me. You know, come over. So that's
good leadership, no doubt.
What I hear is, it's a matter of choice, making the right choice, I should say, and the support. So how important was it for you to hear those initial words from Miss Morgan? Now looking back on it, how important was it? You probably don't realize it then, but now I know you do. So explain that.
Well, in the beginning, like you said, the words didn't hit to me, because to me it was like, you know, my mom is somebody who's she's in my corner. She supports whatever I do. But, you know, Miss Morgan was I looked at her kind of like my mom, like, okay, you're just nagging me. Like, all right, yeah, I know, I got a spark, I could do it. You know, I didn't, it just kind of blew over my shoulder. But as I was getting through the program and then making it to where I am, and I always look, and I thank Miss Morgan so much, because it's like, you know, I got a lot of no's in my life. I got a lot of doors slammed in my face. But she was my one yes. You know, she didn't care about what I had done or what I had been through. Like, it didn't even matter to her. Like, the whole time talking to me, like, she had my papers and, like, records and stuff. She's not even looking at it. She's just like, I don't care about that. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? You know what I'm saying? So it made me feel good about myself. I think it pushed me more, because it's like, you know what, I got somebody in my corner. I got somebody who believe in me, you know? Right. And so being a Youth Build, it's not just one person, though. You know, you have a whole staff of people who push you and want to see you do good. But they want you to see it too, you know? Right. And at the time, I think I didn't see it for myself. You know, I didn't believe that I could do it. You know, I kind of just gave up. I had gave up on myself a long time ago. So it was like, it was starting to come to me as I was going through the program. I'm like, you know what, I can do this. And then hearing it every day, you got somebody coming up to you like, you know what, I'm proud of you. Good job. You know, and I'm just like, what did I do? You came to school. Like, and that was an accomplishment. And I didn't realize it, but those little key things, it meant a lot, because looking back, it's like I didn't hear that, you know. I didn't hear good job. I didn't hear, you know, I'm proud of you and stay focused, and I didn't have that. But the greatest thing that came out of that was, after I left, I was able to encourage myself. I was able to stay focused for myself and remember those key things and remember those key moments, like you said, that I had with Miss Morgan, and think back, you know what, like, Miss Morgan believed in me. All I need to do is believe in myself. So now that I do, it's like, nothing can stop me, you know. I'm gonna go.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. Does that break it down? Is that did AJ break it down right, Gabe?
Yes, she did. Couldn't have said it any better.
So we know that you're in a leadership position over there. You're running the weatherization.
Yeah, I mostly work with the construction component
Okay.
part. So the kids who go through the program, you know, I bump into them every once in a while. I actually went to this mental toughness with them.
Okay.
So that was kind of experience with them where I slept in the dorms with them, and I did some exercises with them.
Okay.
You know.
So what was that like? What was that experience like? Because you know, I'm one of the guys. I'm your peer. Let's do it. What was it like?
It's tough, man. It's boot camp, you know. It speaks for itself. You know, you got somebody trying to push you to the limit, trying to make you crack. You know, but at the end of the day, that's the reason why he's doing that, is to try to see, you know, how strong you are. You know, if you're weak-minded, he's trying to toughen you up for the months to come in youth build, because you got to be strong. You got to want to push through it no matter what comes your way. And that was mostly my problem. What I realized in myself, sometimes I quit out of things, or, you know, and just the support and everybody there wanted to help you and push you forward. Like she said, I saw a part of me that I didn't know I could be, and I realized that I was the one stopping myself in most of the occasions from being successful. You know, I always put myself in problems and stuff like that. So.
Okay. All right. That sounds neat. The mental toughness. So, what were the ingredients, for lack of a better term, for that? Like the mental toughness, of course, is supposed to, you know, strengthen you mentally. But like, did it, you know, touch on emotion? Was it about anger? Was it about just strictly attitude? What was?
It's about everything.
About everything.
We had different sessions where we talked about anger, where we talked about our problems in our life, where we felt free to just let go and communicate and connect with your brothers and sisters. And then we had a little bit of push-ups and exercises to try to push you to that point.
Right.
And you got what other couple things was there? We didn't hardly get no sleep. I mean, like, as soon as you went to bed, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. You had to write an essay, and then bring it back in the morning at 5.
Yep.
So
we got up at like 4. Yep, and we had to stand up there, and we had to march, and it was a lot. Mental toughness was actually my breaking point when I had went with my cohort. I got to mental toughness and I cracked, because it was like chaos. I was actually with sisterhood, because we have a sisterhood and we have a brotherhood, and it was about 7 girls in one room, and it was chaos. It was chaos, like non-stop. And I don't think and it's funny, because it's like we love each other now, but at the time I just think, you know, no sleep, and then some of us weren't even eating. We're not going to lunch, we're going to the dorm to go sleep. But mental toughness, definitely, it touched on a lot of things, because, you know, when you're being pushed to a point where it's like you're drained, like physically and mentally and emotionally, you do end up cracking. But it's for a good reason, you know. When we went, the brothers they're like drill sergeants pretty much. Okay. But the brothers, their main thing was, which I'll never forget, a key thing he said to me was, I want to see the worst part of you. And at the time, I'm like, what is he like? He's just trying to get me mad, you know. I'm just like, he's just trying to piss me off a little bit, but like, 'cause that's what drill sergeants, you know, they try to do. So, but at the time, I didn't realize what he was touching on was that he wanted to see the worst part of me, so that he could try to show me a different way to go about things, you know.
Right.
Because, you know, with us doing exercises, and I was getting fed up and I was getting tired, and I remember, and I walked off and I'm like, you know what, I'm going home, like, I don't want to do this no more, you know. And he's like, there it is, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm looking at him like, you're crazy, like, you know, what is wrong with you? And he's like, you know, he's telling me, he's like, that's it right there. He's like, the worst part of you always wants to give up. You always want to give up. And I'm like, I looked at him, and it wasn't really nothing I could say, because I'm like, you know, he just hit a nerve now, you know. So I'm like, you know what? And I thought about it, and I started thinking about it. He's like, anything that you've been through in life, the worst part of you has told you to give up. He's like, so right here, right now, you could fight the worst part of you by staying here. So then, you know, and I'm just like, it was kind of like a test for me, because I'm like, I'm not about to let the worst part of me win. I'm about to go back in there and keep going, you know. So I think, and that's definitely when we went with this, like when Gabe said, we went with the cohort this year. It was different being on the other side, because I volunteered to go with them this year. So I volunteered as staff.
Wow.
So yeah, so being on the opposite side of it, it was like,
she was getting herself.
Right.
Yes, it was crazy, because we went with a different set of brothers than I had initially had when I went with my cohort. Okay. But it was different being on the other side, though, you know, as staff, because it was like, even when I was with my cohort, I was leading them, but I was still actually in the action, you know?
Right.
And this time it's like, I was looking at them and I was watching them, and I could see the ones that were trying to give up, you know, and the ones who wanted to go home. And I'm like, okay, you know, Miss Morgan and Mr. Hughes and those staff, they were my little, you know, my push. So, you know, I go next to them, start doing jump jacks, like, you got this, it's okay, you know, you can push through. And I know that type, it's like, you know, I've been where you are, I know you get fed up. But I just kept telling them, like, the worst part of you is coming out right now. That's it. That's just it. The worst part of you is coming out right now. And they would look at it and they'd be like, Miss Sanders, what are you talking about? I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do this. I'd be like, listen, it's going to hit you later on, you know? So, but then when they would come back inside and they finish doing the exercise and stuff, they'd be like, you know what? I'm glad I stayed. I'm glad I didn't give up. So, mental toughness is definitely, it's preparing them. I think that's mainly what mental toughness was. It's preparation, because their real mental toughness wasn't, or any of our real mental toughness wasn't while we were at the boot camp. It was when we came back home, you know, to deal with things that we go through in life, to be able to be like, you know, I could walk away from this, or I don't have to hang with this crowd, you know, to be strong mentally.
Wow.
Discipline and patience.
Yep.
And see, it's crazy. I'm listening to you talk. I'm actually the opposite. I love difficult stuff. You give it to me too easy, I'm bored. I made my college coach quit on me. He said, what's wrong with you? I said, well, you don't know my grandmother.
Right.
I'd rather listen to you than have her cuss me out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I can relate to that, because when you push yourself to the limit in difficult situations, when you get out there and you start to see things for what they are, it just becomes a whole lot easier. Because it's like it's nothing to you. It's like, oh, been there already.
Yep.
It's all good. So it's good to push in difficult situations. Once you break that ceiling, you can't go back, because it's so much easier. It's like the last rep. You get that last rep up, you good. You go in the gym, you knock them out, bang, 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 no problem. So I can relate to that, and that's a wonderful thing. That's good. I think it's a lot of young folks need it as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Maybe we'll implement mental toughness to the BRICS program. So and we can definitely chat about that. But right now we're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're going to come back with some more with AJ and Gabriel from Youth Bill. All right.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about something phenomenal. A casino night, November 13th. Bets for Vets. We're going to have some big headliners there. Tommy Marr, rock and roll legend from Long Island. Les Deegan is going to be there singing some crooning songs. We're going to have two phenomenal comedians, Tim Thompson and impersonator comedian John Santos. We're going to have a great DJ there. $20 admission. The door opens up at 6 p.m. November 13th. And it's 370 Vanderbilt Motor Parkway in Hauppauge. 6 p.m. November 13th. $20 admission. The doors open up at 6 p.m. plus a complete casino night. We'll have blackjack, slot machines, you name it. It will be there. Grand prizes, 50-50, door prizes, things like flat screen TVs. I mean, this is going to be big. So mark your calendars for November 13th. Please, guys, come out, support our veterans.
Stretching under sedation, or manipulation under anesthesia, is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhousetv.
You are the man.
And we are back with another segment of AAU Building Bricks Youth Leadership Show. And yeah, let's go Mets. New York all the way. So getting back to our guests, AJ and Gabriel from Youth Build. So Gabe, you want to tell us a little bit about what you do over there as far as the weatherization, if I'm saying it correct?
Right. What I do is I do a lot of things.
Okay.
I mean, from helping Hurricane Sandy victims to helping veterans to helping, you know, people with HIV or other things like that.
Right.
Basically, I go and I help weatherize people with low income. So we go, sometimes we work off of grants in towns, and we go and weatherize those houses and make them more affordable. At the same time, I take the Youth Build students that already gotten their OSHA, because we do that. We give out OSHA cards and all that type of training at the lab.
Now, let me stop you for a second. For the folks out there that don't know, what is OSHA?
That is the that
deals with construction.
Yeah, it's not only construction.
Right, right. That's why I said explain a little more. Right.
Every kind of job you need some kind of safety,
okay,
kind of intelligence of safety. So what that is we give certifications. You take a 10-hour course, whether it's for general industry, or you can go into being a nurse, or CNA, or whatever.
Okay.
And then you can do one for construction. Okay. And so we just implemented that in our program.
Okay.
So my supervisor is the OSHA instructor, and he gives out certifications.
Okay.
So we'll prep them, give them the OSHA certification, then they can come out on the job site with us.
Okay.
So I take, 7, 10, 15 students. We'll go and we'll weatherize either a new build home, or we'll go and rebuild a home. I've built 2 houses already in Central Islip, 2 in Brentwood, and we've built the pressure house. It's a house inside of a building right at the lab, so you can get hands-on training without even, going into the field.
Right.
So these students, who take them in and we air seal homes, insulate. So everybody's kind of helping everybody in this process. It's an amazing process. Everybody's taking away something.
Wow. That's neat.
Especially me. So.
Okay. What are you taking away?
I'm taking away. Well, I'm becoming. When I'm bringing these students in, I'm giving them hope. I try to mentor them while I'm teaching them construction. Mm-hmm. So it's not only construction. So I get to take away some hope myself, and bring it back and work on me, because I still need work. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
So I'm still working on myself. Mm-hmm. So Youth Build got me to a point where I can notice that now, and I'm rebuilding myself, almost like I'm building houses. So, that's what I'm taking away.
Wow.
So you're developing your leadership skills in the process while helping others.
Yes, sir.
And also working on yourself as an individual, not just as a leader, but just as a better human being, I should say.
Yes, sir. Since I went to Youth Build, I've become a better father to my son.
Okay.
And I'm not with the mother right now.
Okay.
A lot of people in that situation, especially more students coming in.
Right.
So, it's a hard standpoint. So I can relate to students, and I can also take that home with me and, try to be a better father and be a better person.
Beautiful.
Great things. Great.
Yeah. And children need that. They need, I seriously believe, and we just had a guy on a show last week where we ended up getting into a discussion, can a woman raise responsible male, or son, and, to the highest degree. And, what we pretty much came up with was that fathers are needed, right. The men are needed. And, so hopefully a lot of women saw the show and they got a little something from it.
He said something that was very important. He didn't outright say it, but the humility aspect of leadership.
Yeah.
I firmly believe you can't be a leader until you have some humility. Because when there's arrogance and it's all about you, you can't help anybody because you're not going to be open to things. So even in his home, dealing with single parenting along with the mother, that humility and the patience and the discipline that he's honing while he's honing his craft as well is very important, and it's what a lot of folks lack as adults. Absolutely. Even, you know. So absolutely. Humility, great thing. Yeah. Great thing. You truly can't be a leader until you have some humility.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the God honest truth.
And you know, I think some people fail to realize that leadership, one of the you know, of course, humility, but one of the purpose or the functions of leadership is to serve. You have to serve people. You know, you have to serve your team. You have to, you know, provide them with what they need in order to get the job done. And I think that's where some people either don't see themselves as leaders or fail in leadership positions. You know, just based on that.
But as the saying goes,
what?
Power corrupts. Absolutely, power corrupts. Absolutely.
Oh man. So AJ, who's AJ? I know that you've been through a lot. You've learned a lot. So, and you seem very I'm proud of you. You know, there's some insight there. So tell our viewers like who you are as an individual, like how you see yourself.
I see. I'm a very strong-minded person. Very headstrong. I'm determined. I'm focused. I'm funny. I'm motivated. I'm self-motivated. I'm caring. I care about the people around me. I don't ever want to see anybody fail. You know, especially coming into this program. I think it's taking an impact on me just coming in as like volunteering as staff, because I don't want to see, you know, some of the kids allow themselves to give up. You know, so, but it's like it's only so far you can push somebody. You know, they got to be ready when they're ready.
Right.
But that's it. I got a big heart because I want to see everybody do good. You know.
Okay.
But I'm definitely a leader. You know, right. It's okay to follow. I'm gonna say this. It's okay to follow as long as you follow in the right cat. You know, so right. People that I do follow, right. they know where they're going.
Okay.
Positive yeah. Role model.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, man. You making me want to go to Youthville. I'm like, yo, am I too old? Like, yo, let me get in. I want to do this mental toughness piece. So, I guess for just general purposes, last year when we launched the Building Bricks Men's Leadership Conference, Youthville Long Island showed up, Mr. Hughes, who very, very good brother. And I don't remember which one of you guys mentioned him, but he does his thing, and you know, we don't have a great relationship because we're both busy, but we do have the type of relationship where, you know, we can pick up the phone and call one another and so on and so forth. So they brought out a busload of individuals, young men, to the conference last year, which was like phenomenal for us. Because, you know, like when you first start, you know, numbers are low and, you know, you don't really get everything that you want. You know, Building Bricks, for those who don't know, is the acronym for brotherhood, relationships, how to deal with young women, integrity, character, knowledge, and synergy. And in that, or should I say prior to that, getting to that, we talk about racism, we talk about propaganda, we talk, there's an emotional segment to it. I like to call it the emotional wellness or emotional intelligence piece. And we talk about leadership, education. So Youthville shows up with had to be about 12 young brothers. 15. 15?
No, 14 to 15.
And it was a big piece because by the time they added on to everybody that was there, we maybe had about 30, 35 young men there. And the Building Bricks is actually set up to deal with single mothers raising sons. So if the son was between the ages of 16 and 26, they could actually bring the son. But if they were just raising a son and they didn't fit the age limit, then they would just be able to get some information from the conference from a man's perspective on how to better structure their household or whatever, what have you, in order to raise a responsible young man. And then we had the what we call responsible role models, or the mentors, so to speak. They were just the examples. You know, not all of them are fathers. Some of them were. Not all of them were speakers, but most of them were. And they would just kind of came out and gave the support that the young men needed. I know we did a segment where the young men were sitting down and we surrounded them, talking about different aspects of brotherhood and integrity and so on and so forth. So although neither one of you guys were there, you happened to be, AJ, you happened to experience the group of young men as they came back from the conference. So please tell us what was going on with them, and what you saw, what you heard. What was the feeling like, for the guys that experienced the Building Bricks conference.
Yeah, well, when I call him Humble Hughes. That's my name.
Okay, Humble Hughes.
When Humble Hughes, when he took the brotherhood to the conference, when they came back, I think initially it didn't exactly hit them until the next day is when I really saw it, because they went out, even some of them, because my cohort was really close. It's almost like we were real brothers and sisters, you know? So even when I would see some of them out and the way that they'd act and they'd move and their environments and stuff, I could see things starting to hit them, like, you know what? I'm gonna just go home. I shouldn't even be here right now. Just little things like that. It would be amazing. Like all right, like an example. One of my brothers, Mr. Jones, he went to the conference, and when he came back, and at the time he had a baby on the way, a son, and he came back, and me and him were like the best of friends. We're like best friends. So we were hanging out, and like a crew of people came and came up to the steps, and they're like, yo, you guys should come hang out with us. And he already knew my answer was gonna be no, because I shut it down in a minute. I don't. So I'm just like, look, I'm about to go home. He like, no, you ain't gotta leave. He like, nah, man, I got something to do. And I was looking at him because he doesn't ever do that. So I was kind of looking at him crazy, and he's like, nah, man, I got something to do. And he like, they call him punks and stuff. So, but he didn't care. He's like, yo, let's just go inside. And then we went outside, and he sat there for a minute. And he did the game, because I was playing a video game, so he was just sitting there. He just sat there for a minute. He wasn't staring at nothing. He was just sitting there. And I'm like, you okay? He's like, yeah. He's like, it's just some things I got to do. And I'm just like, I didn't get what was going on. But you know what? As days went on, the people he used to hang with started fading off. The things he used to do, he started changing. He went and got a job. He started applying things. And then when I asked him, I didn't want to, throw him out there like, what was your wake up call? But I was just like, yo, what's going on with you? And he's just like, I want to be a man to my son, not a boy to a boy. So I like that, because I was like, and it was crazy because it was the first time, but I was glad that had such an impact on him, going to that conference, because I think. And the main reason I love that the men got to go out there is because most of them coming in, they live with their moms or just their grandmas or their aunts and stuff like that. They got to have conversations man to man, and get to talk about the things and get to feel, because you can't talk, I know, like, my brother doesn't feel comfortable talking to my mom about girls and stuff, but he'll go talk to my uncle about it, so just things of that nature. So it had a serious impact on a lot, and I think them actually going to that conference pushed them even harder to want to graduate and to want to do what they had to do, not just for them, for their kids, their sisters, their brothers, their mothers, their families, so that was a real impact on them.
Wow, that was amazing. I can't remember, what was the young brother's name? He said, yo, we did a segment, Brett Scudder opened up with Hugs and I Love You, which was, to us, I guess, to a degree, it's almost like basic, because we've gotten to the point where, the brotherhood between, friends and associates, constituents and so forth, where, yo, give them a hug, yo, love you, bro, even on the phone, love you, bro, because you never know when you might or might not, see someone again. So we going around the room, Brett has us going around the room, we're hugging all the young men and telling them that, we love them. And we do, we're really sincere. And one of the brothers came up to me. Actually, he came up to a few people, but he came up to me and he said, "Hey, Mr. D," he said, "I got emotional when you told me that you love me, because nobody ever told me that before." And and I was like, "Yo, man, give me another hug," and I love you more, man. Word, that thing was crazy. So I'm hoping. Or did you see anything to that degree where it looked like they began to kind of love on each other a little more? Because I know young men sometimes they let each other have it, like, "Yo, you stupid, yo," whatever. So.
Well, definitely, because I think, when they came back from the conference, and as the school year went on, it was funny, that you mentioned that, because I can remember, I was walking into school, because I always used to get to school early, but so I came into school, and some of the brothers were over there, they was like, "Yeah, I love you, sis. Come here, give me a hug." And I'm like, and I was laughing because, usually they don't do it. So I'm like, "Boy, get in here." He like, "You my sister. Come, show me love, show me love." So, and they just walk up to you, "How you doing, brother? How you doing today, brother? I love you, brother." They just do all day long, even they come up. I remember even Mr. I'm telling you, even Mr. Hughes had to laugh because Mr. Hughes was like, frustrated, I think, because we had forgotten the homework or something. It was a few of us that had forgot our homework. And I remember Mr. Hughes was fussing at us, and my best friend, Mr. Joe Studman, he was like, brother, I love you, brother." And everybody just started laughing. That's all he could do was laugh. And even Mr. Hughes, he could laugh. He was like, "I love you too, brother." He's like, "But I'm going to need my homework."
That's him.
But it was more, I think, because what? I think them getting that aspect in their life, it's harder for you to hurt somebody that you call your brother.
Right.
So I think not just for the school aspect, but them taking that throughout life, because it's even, I know some people that they'll have close to them or whatever it might be, even with those sisters who didn't get a chance to go but got to witness it when they came back, it's like, it's harder for you to hurt somebody that you call your sister or you call your brother, so it was a good experience for them.
Yeah,
it definitely was a good experience. I think the cohort that we have now needs to take a trip with
I wish I would have went with y'all, man.
Yeah, man, we would have loved to have you. We opened up with the hip hop.
Yeah, we got it in, but a lot of it is just teaching. You create an environment for yourself, and even words carry vibratory frequencies that you resonate with. If you call yourself negative things, you don't realize it, but that's your environment, and you become that which you speak. So it's reversing that. It's sort of like positive propaganda. Brother, sister, love versus hate, brother and sister versus some other words we might call each other from time to time. And you just create this whole environment, and that just keeps resonating itself with everybody that you interact with.
I actually could relate with that, because my family, we never say "I love you." Never heard that till I was like, till I came to Youth Build, actually. And then I went home and tried to use it on my sister, and I was like, "I love you?" Like, it just feels weird, like, saying it. Like, why would I even say it? Like, there's no love there, and and that's one thing from Youth Build I really appreciate it. So I could relate to that. I wish I would have went to one of those things, man.
Well,
I would have brought that love back.
Yeah, it's coming back around. It'll be next year, and I'm sure that Mr. Hughes will definitely I'll definitely let him know that you're interested. And of course, next year we're looking at stretching it out to what it was designed to do, be 4 days. What we had in mind when we designed it was, how can we impact young men quickly and give them the maximum amount of tools in order for them to be able to at least get started and have that work to whereas they come back. Because after we do the 4-day conference, we go into an 8-week group mentoring session, which now we're even talking about incorporating a mentoring program. Because instead of us doing 2 hours a week for 8 weeks, they may need more. And we don't, it's not within, our capacity to do that, but we can bring another program in, let them do it. And then we can still do the group mentoring and engage them, because just the group that I was working with Tuesday, the propaganda piece was huge. We talk about, Ted talked about propaganda in the media and then in entertainment, or really in the music. And the music that, you know, young people are listening to now, that trap music, man. You know about the trap music, Gabe?
Yeah, man, you can't get rid of it, man. It sounds so good, but then you like listening to what they're saying, and it's like, it's double negative, you know? Just pulls you right in, just like the streets, just pulls you right in.
Right.
You know, the reality of it is now, when I talked briefly about, it was like, I don't know, you guys are a little younger than us, but commercials used to be about what? A minute and a half, because they wanted you to basically soak in, take it all in. Now what they're doing is they're speeding it up, so you're getting about 26 to 28 frames within 30 seconds. So what that does is you don't realize it, but when you walk away, you start thinking about all these things. So it's like fast forwarding a film, and you got all these things going. You can't focus, you can't concentrate. Certain things you're grasping, some you're not, because that's the way your mind's eye is designed. But once you see it, it stays with you. You may think about it a week down the line, but it just scrambles your brain. And that's what a lot of this is accumulated to do. Like, we have one TV in the whole house. Now you got a phone, you got a tablet, you're plugged in 24 hours a day. So if I'm always pouring these things into you, I already know what the end result is going to be because I put it there. Same way when you initially went in and Ms. Morgan told you, look, boom, she put that in you. Boom, and now here's the end result. I know what I'm getting because I put it in you.
Right.
Same thing with the music, and you have to be mindful of that. Very mindful of what you intake, not only physically but mentally. And that's part of what I spoke about during this session. But before we go any further, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come right back and finish this up.
You're on the ball list, so you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that? Are you well versed there? Are you very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something.
What do you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
that's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sir, are you interested in twisted talent?
Yes, I am. Sure. See, you got twisted.
That's twisted. That's talent. You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to go to commercial break, punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love it.
Can you repeat that question again?
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Vito from the hit show Shake It Up with Karen and Regina. That's filmed live right here at Madhousetv. I want to thank Madhousetv for allowing me to talk to you today about a very important organization called Mondays at Racine. Mondays at Racine provides beauty and wellness services to those undergoing chemotherapy and radiation for cancer. We have an event coming up on Monday, October 26th at the Crest Hollow Country Club called the Long Island Beauty Ball. The Long Island Beauty Ball is going to be the event of the year. I want you to come down and join us, do things like the lash bar and the lipstick lounge, and we're going to have psychics and, of course, a beer garden and wine garden. We even have a Monday Night Football for you guys. So I would love to see you there at this event. If for whatever reason you can't make it, you could always donate directly to mondaysatracine.org. But for ticket information, please go to www.longislandbeautyball.com. This organization will use the money raised at this event for the expansion of the program to other salons all over the country. So we would love to be able to treat more people and help them feel really special. So please come on down. I'll see you there. Thanks.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
And the New York Giants are back. All right, so AAU Building Bricks TV, we're back. And we're with AJ and Gabriel from Youth Build program out here in Deer Park, Long Island. So, Gabe, AJ, what are the benefits, for somebody, enrolling in Youth Build? Like, what are they going to get? What should they expect? Because we definitely want to see if we can refer some people, that way.
Well, enrolling into Youth Build, like Gabe said, between the ages of 18 and 24, if you require a diploma, or a GED, and whatever track that you might want to get into, whether it be construction or CNA or, pretty much anything that you want to get into, Youth Build can guide you there. For myself, like I had to study, we went to Suffolk Community College. We did some one-on-one studying with professionals, to help us prep for the GED classes and actually taking the GED that's coming up. Well, the task now, I believe they changed it around now. And, once I got through that, I said I wanted to cook. I liked cooking and I liked music. So, they gave me a scholarship to go to culinary school at Wilson Tech. I got to meet some real live producers and talk to them about being in the game and the industry and stuff like that. So it's really, it's really whatever you want to do, they will help you do it. But you got to be definite about it. If you be like, this is my dream, I want to be a top chef, okay, you get your GED, you study hard, you come to school every day, you prove that you are here, you want to make a change. All right, then this is it. It's kind of like, they want to see as hard as you go is the results you'll get back. If you give 20%, you'll get 20%. But if you give 110, you'll get 110. So,
pretty much it is what you put in is what you get out of the program. I was just living in a house I was paying $350 a month for a 3-bedroom house. It was just a good opportunity. I lived there for 2.5 years. I just moved out though, because I was building these 2 houses on either side with the Youth Build students. So, I got to go on break, go to my house, sit on the couch, cook something to eat, use my own bathroom.
Right.
So that was nice. So, yeah, there's just opportunities because we're affiliated with United Way of Long Island and they're dedicated to making you successful, whatever it is. But we have tracks now that we put students, graduates, straight into union jobs. And these jobs starting $20, $30 an hour, so... Like I said, it is what you put in. If you come to the program and you're not doing what you got to do, and you're not committed to your change, then that's what you get.
Okay. Did you hear that? Repeat that again.
The job money?
The money. The Skrilla. How much?
These jobs are starting from $20, $30 an hour.
Y'all hear that?
And
I'm looking at all 3 cameras at one time. Y'all hear that? Get that money. You heard what the man said.
So if you're interested, come down, change your life, and get a good job, and you straight,
That's right.
Set you up.
Get rich or learn trying.
My coworker that went to school with me, because I graduated in 2011, he works at Brookhaven Laboratories. He's been there for like the past 2 years. Wow. He's doing great. And then another buddy of mine just went into the union. He was working with me. Now he went into the union. He's getting $20 an hour. Okay. You know, in a year he's gonna go up 5. In another year, go up 5. You know, sooner or later he's making 50. Right. So as long as he keeps putting in, you know, that's how it works.
So now my question is concerning the union. If you can answer this for me, you have to accumulate a certain amount of hours, correct?
Right. Before
you really like turn over and start making that real deal bread.
Right. Some unions start off with a probationary. Well, they all have probationary periods, but some start off with like maybe 18 hours an hour, and then for a year, and then in 5 years they'll set you up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or in the next year they'll give you $20 an hour, and then each union is different. They all got different kind of criteria because there's so many of them. The one I know my buddy's going to right now, he's making 20, and he's got work for the next 6 years, and in 6 years, then they'll consider him to go in full, starting at the big moolah. You know what I'm saying?
Word. So you're gonna double that money, right?
And then there's another position right now that I'm looking at, starting at $30 an hour, linesman. So I'm looking at that. All you need is a CDL permit. Right. You know what I'm saying? But
I was about to ask you about that too.
What is a linesman? y'all need to get, everybody out there need to get this. What's a linesman?
I think the linesman is the guys who work on the wiring, from house to house, or people that work with Verizon, they do similar work like that.
So in the field of an electrician, or a tech, so to speak.
Right.
Okay.
And you ready to transition?
Not yet, man. I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to my job. I'm here for the youth, and
that's good.
They just gave me a promotion too. So
I'm congratulations! I'm proud of you too, man.
Hey, man, dinner's on him.
He's got no doubt.
Dinner's on him. He's making a lot of moves over there.
Right.
Yeah. He ain't ready, but I'm ready. I'm going through.
So, over at the Youth Bill, I know you got what you call Mr. Hughes?
Humble Hughes.
Humble Hughes, my man. Wow, no doubt. I guess between the two of you, there's some individuals that you might want to give a thanks to, and of course we're on national TV. Actually, we're global.
Global, baby.
Therefore, that's a good piece, right?
The CEO said, "Don't discount it,"
and we humble with it. Yeah. So, any shout outs you want to give out? Some thank yous and I love yous.
Information on how to contact the program. Where's located, the address, phone number, everything else.
Well, website.
If you want to come to the program, you can call me 631-940-3700. And
straight no chaser, you got my number.
My name is Gabriel Arango. I'm the weatherization crew chief. And I want to give a thanks to my mom. She's really the only one that believed in me. And the Youth Bill staff, Liz Morgan, Rick Wertheim at United Way. He's gave me the opportunity to come here, even though I messed up my life plenty of times. He believed in me and helped me push forward.
You didn't mess up your life. You made a couple of bad choices.
I made a lot of bad choices.
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
A lot of bad choices.
Trust me.
And I just want to thank United Way for giving me that opportunity.
Beautiful.
And just like Gabe, if you're interested in the program, between ages of 18 and 24, or anybody above or below, you're just trying to get your life together, trying to get on the right track, need any information with anything, whether it be CNA, construction, counseling, whatever it might be. My name is AJ Sanders. You can contact me at 631-639-6845. And I want to give a shout out to the Youth Build staff, Ms. Elizabeth Morgan, Humble Hughes, Soul Food Shelton. I got this one staff I call him Soul Food Shelton because every morning he gives us these morning inspirations.
Right.
And so I told him he always gives you food for your soul. So Soul Food Shelton. But I thank the Youth Build staff, for definitely believing in me and pushing me as far as I've come. And I thank you guys for having us too, giving us a chance to talk and share a little bit about us and, try to reel some people in because everybody's looking for somebody to guide them.
Absolutely. And I want to give a couple of shout outs to, my team and my hair. I don't have any more. I got rid of it. But the Building Bricks young men's leadership program is definitely, we're going to be doing some information sessions, and we're going to be we're trying to hit every borough. I really should stop saying that, because we don't have a contact in Staten Island. So if there's a contact in Staten Island out there and you want to hit us, you can definitely go to bmwydc.org, or you can email Herman, Herman, at bmwydc.org. Shoot me an email, and let us know that we can get some Staten Island love. But we're actually trying to do one in Harlem, one in Brooklyn, 2 in Queens. We're going to do the I think we're going to do the Flushing area. I know we're trying to get into Far Rockaway with an information session out there with Lakia Eccles, and Make My Mother Proud. And I know we're going to do the Bronx. We're going to work through a couple of organizations in the Bronx. And then I'm missing somewhere. Where am I missing?
I don't know.
Anyway,
you're missing.
We did 2 in Queens, 1 in Bronx, 1 in Harlem, right? 1 in Brooklyn, right. Oh, we're missing Long Island. That's where our sponsors come in at. That's what I'm missing. Yeah. So we're hoping that the Whitney E. Johnson Foundation, who are the sponsors of the AAU Building Bricks television, actually it's AAU Teen Talk TV, but sponsors of the AAU Building Bricks Youth Leadership Show, will definitely open up some space for us to be able to come out, talk to the parents, talk to the kids, talk to the other organizations about what we bring as far as the Building Bricks program, and hopefully we can get some support with everything coming out to next year's conference. So, Ted, you want to close us on out?
Yes.
I know we about there, man.
Anybody who wants to yell at me, beat me up, curse me out. We got one candidate in the room, William Teddy Portwine on Facebook, lecture author William Teddy Portwine, LinkedIn, Twitter, I'm everywhere. And before we roll out with the credits, once again, we would like to thank all of our sponsors for making this possible, but especially
sponsorship
Roger and Shavonna Johnson,
especially
of the Whitney E. Johnson Foundation, for making it all happen.
Absolutely.
And until next time, this is AAU Teen Talk TV /Bricks.
Enjoy. Have a great week. We appreciate you guys. Everybody.